Hey guys, I wanted to go over the book club, the first book real quick, and just some general practices I use when reading these books, and why I chose these highlighters to give out to the group for highlighting. Here's my house. Welcome to my house. This is my little library here. A lot of the books that we'll be reading over the months and years will likely be coming from that shelf. The books that I'm picking are, they have been or continue to be very, very, very impactful for my life. Real needle movers, so to speak. But anyway, without droning on too long about this, I'm gonna get right into it. So first book is the 5 Love Languages. I was recommended this book when I was having pretty tough time when we were growing the company, and we had Atlas. We're going from 10 to 30 employees, whatever it might have been, and my wife and I were just having a rough time. A lot of tough time communicating and showing each other appreciation and really just giving each other what we needed. Now, the book is not meant to fix your relationships or improve your marriages. It's really meant to help you understand yourselves and understand others. Mostly understand how you give and receive love or affection or appreciation or whatever it may be. So it's really a psychology book, but it can be applied to anything. It can be applied to prospecting. It can be applied to your family members, your loved ones. It can really cause a big impact on any of your relationships, and coworkers as well. I think when we get done with the book, we'll have everybody at Drips take a 3 or 4 minute test, and you'll find out what your love language is. That love language could be gifting, it could be words of affirmation, it could be quality time, it could be acts of service, the point of that is, when we give acknowledgement to somebody, if you do it in the form of a written card and maybe a gift card to a spa, that would be good for somebody that's into gifting. But acknowledgement, or words of affirmation rather, they would much rather receive that, in the form of recognition at all hands or something like this. So it's about knowing ourselves and knowing others and understanding how we speak these languages and how we interpret these languages. So anyway, I won't go into the book anymore or how it impacted me. I'll save that for the review. The idea here is that everybody can read 3 to 5 pages a day. It'll take us a little more than a month to crack through this thing, and I want everybody to, if you have your own way of highlighting and marking up books, feel free to do that. The one thing I would caution everybody against is not doing that somehow. Meaning, I've known a lot of people that have read a lot of books, and before I started marking up my books and underlining things and highlighting things, I would read them and I would get some idea about it, but my comprehension and my digestion of the book was quite poor. Some people have great comprehension, some people have great rote memories. I do not. So I did what I needed to make sure I was getting the impact of the book. And what that looks like is this. 1 second. So if you flip through any books that I've read, they generally will have a lot of pages folded, a lot of things highlighted, a lot of sections, as you can see here, that are bracketed. Sometimes it'll be, the whole page, right? That is highlighted or sectioned off. Most of my stuff won't be underlined. I reserved that for something else, but I'll explain all this right now. So the way that I do it is, as I'm reading, I imagine myself, what do I want to remember, or what would I want to reread in the future? And anything that I would want to remember, or I'd want to reread, or I felt that was really, truly applicable to me and my experience, my situation, whatever it may be, things I'm trying to get better at, I will either highlight those if there's a short sentence or a short quote, as you see here, or if it's a whole section, I will bracket it, as you see here. And then within that section, if there's a certain chunk that I want to like be able to at a glance see what that chunk is about, I'll highlight that as well. So the idea here is, this book probably took me, I don't know, however long it took me to read, but now I can go back through very, very quickly. And when I finished this book, what I did actually is I reread it, but I only reread the parts that I highlighted or bracketed. Then once I did that, I would also fold the pages of the things that I considered to be necessary action items, meaning these are things that I need to weave into my day-to-day, things that I need to add to my game, things that I need to do in order to improve whatever it is I'm trying to improve on. So the idea is when I get done with a book, I should only have, 5 to 12 action items, and that's about as what you see here. I went ahead and refolded them. I think there's only 2 left that I'm still trying to get a lot better at. But once I get done with the action item, I would open the page back up, and that would be somewhat of a checklist, so I know that I didn't just read the book, I didn't just get a feeling about the book or get inspired by the book, but I actually did something about what I learned, meaning I changed my actions, I changed my behaviors, I changed my habits, and ultimately changed my life. So I'd like anybody to try to adopt that. If you have your own strategy, I'm super excited to hear about it and learn from you as well. There's a lot of people out there that are much better at reading than I am, and I'm not saying that my way is the best way by any means, but I am saying that these highlighters, boom, are the best highlighters. And I'll tell you why. The other highlighters, like a regular highlighter, every time you want to highlight something, you got to take the top off, and it's got this big fat, marker look to it. You got to put the top back on, and you got to use both hands. This bad boy, you just click, and it's got a chiseled edge, as you can see, so you can easily highlight, you can easily underline, and as soon as you're done with it, click it back, and it's back away. So these things will save you a lot of time and effort with highlighters. So anyway, guys, I'm really excited to get into this, to review this book with you, to hear about, how you think it could, just what we all learn about it. I don't want to get too much into it, but very exciting for this book and many others that we got coming up. All right, thank you. Bye. Good night.